called, but there is a slight advantage, he believes, going to the left-hand side of screen. Here we go.
And Shanahan picking up the first gamer, not Neats. That's interesting. Ball in the centre circle. Saints with a breeze in this first term. Robert Harvey, the first kick. Towards centre half forward. Bounces off Trianides. Here's Hall. Quick hand pass. Here's a chance. Trianides followed up. And goal!
Well, that was just terrific play by Hall. Picking the ball straight off the ground and getting out to Trianides and give the young bloke a bit of confidence there.
Seemed to run very well through the line there. Trianides just backed himself to go there, and safe hands by Hall.
Interesting, Drew, how you picked up that Shanahan's picking up Alistair Nicholson, but often you tend to do that because the big, older, experienced player can sometimes bluff the younger guy into a bit of insecurity.
Yeah, good point. That was your strength, Ned.
Ball back in the middle, and Steins wins this one. Glenn Lovett got a touch to it, but didn't win the football. Tony Brown for the Saints. Back into heavy traffic, crashing through there. Whistle's gone. Melbourne free kick. No advantage to Steins.
Yeah, a little bit of a left hand there. Got Phoebe a little bit high. That was there.
Crisp is playing loose man defence for St Kilda, number 18.
Stephen Phoebe. Twin brother Matthew starting on the bench. No mark. Tough in the clinches. Eventually the ball out to Pyman off the side of the boot. Excellent mark by Hudson, the Queenslander, playing his third game. Across the ground to Nathan Burke. Obst had 16 possessions in the last quarter, the last time these two teams met. Saints go off the ground. Stewie Lowe dropped the mark near centre wing. Gets it back after a good hand pass. That was dished out by Smith.
Good spoil by Gaspar.
Oh, Joran heaps of other Hopgood. He's lost it to Hall. Hall set up the first goal, but couldn't quite kick the second.
Well, Drew, really, he should have got that goal. A little bit of inexperience from the young fella there, and they're the ones he's got to kick today.
Absolutely, like you saw, he actually, the ball went dead straight to the location he was running then, Hall. When the ball's wet, it will go directly where you run to in your running motion as you kick, and obviously his natural kicking style is a little bit of a hook foot, so not to his benefit there.
St Kilda doing the zone at the moment.
We saw Darryl Wakelin on the bench with first gamer Brad Campbell.
They're waiting the outer side there. It'll have to go out that way.
Kick by Gaspar in the direction of Steins. The knock-on favours Melbourne. Phoebe's hand pass up in the air. Brown. Inside 50. And an excellent mark taken by Smith.
Melbourne defenders very loose at the moment down here and giving the St Kilda forwards plenty of room.
See, Jimmy Steins didn't try and mark that ball. He tried to knock it over, but he didn't have the support running from that knock-over set play from the kicking.
Kick for goal by Joel Smith. 45 metres out. Offline. Low. Chance for Stewie. Good effort, but across the face.
Was a good effort by the big fella there. He didn't quite mark the ball, but he didn't let it go through for a point and gave himself a chance to have a shot at goal, but he didn't put it through, unfortunately.
In these conditions, it's crucial as a backman to play the straight bat early, isn't it? Just get the ball out of the area, not try and be too smart about everything.
And try and push it over the boundary line or through for a point.
Well, halves, all the players are out the other side again.
Yes, they are. They're going wide, Melbourne.
Hyman's gone all right this year for Melbourne. Yep. Third club. Ball knocked back to the 50. High tackle. And the free kick to Brett Lovett.
Clever play by Lovett there. He felt the tackle on the upper arm. He just moved the arm out with a bit of strength and made the tackle slide up to his neck.
Been a good start by the Saints. Kick by Brett Lovett towards the outer wing. Steins is there. Huge leap over the top by Cripps. And the ball out of play. Centre wing, throw it.
It's a concern, Dermy, when the play like that gets held up on a half-back line. Really, you've got to be running out, moving quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. The best the forward line can do from there is lead to the boundary line and take it over.
Everett against Steins. Comes to Clarkson. Kick smothered. Brown towards centre half forward. Good running mark taken by Seacamp. Started the season in the seconds. Struggled recently. Short pass across half-back to Nettlebeck. Gaspar would come well up the ground. This could be dangerous if they turn it over. They're working into the breeze, the Demons. Seacamp Good kick to centre half forward. Punch to the front. Matthew Young leaves it. The hand pass comes out wide from Cripps. Peckett. Zilla. Inside 50. Past Winmar it goes.
Oh, big effort here by himself.
15-metre break to Peter Everett.
Well, he was by himself for quite some time, Halves, and the kicking player there just didn't spot him in the centre.
No, that's right. He put his hand up too to try and make him see, but obviously he didn't see him. And the big fella really had a bit more time than should have picked the ball up and had a shot.
Well, we mentioned Marcus Seecamp before. Started the season in the reserves. He's already off the ground and only the 5-minute mark. And McDonald on.
Anthony McDonald just on and dives to take this mark.
Brother of Alex McDonald at Collingwood.
Holding the ball.
It's a silly handball, isn't it, Halves? I mean, really, it's under so much pressure. You've got to get back and give your teammate a bit of time and space.
Yeah, he did, Ned, but he slipped over, and I hope he's not wearing moulded soles.
Everett to Lowe, and Stewie's got it 35 metres out.
It's a concern, Dermy, with Melbourne. The way they play really isn't wet weather style of game, is it? They really like to give the short little handball and chip the ball around, as we saw midfield just a while ago, and then this is what happens. It turns it over and straight back down the other end. Well,
it's all right if you're a possession team and your skills are very good, but when you're lying 16th on the ladder, you would assume that the skills aren't that great to retain possession. So it's contrary to their the result they want to achieve, the way they're playing at the moment.
Lowe for goal. The Saints second.
Really, fellas, Stewie Lowe did need that early goal to give himself a bit of confidence, because he has been down in recent weeks.
Now, Stewie Lowe been important early. What does Neil Balme think he might have to do with Stewie?
So we've probably got 3, 4, 5 blokes who could pick him up. We will hope that if he plays full forward, that Gasper will be able to slow him down. If he plays centre half forward, we'd probably just play Nettlebeck on him. And then there's Seecamp as an extra, or Ingerson from forward, or at absolute worst, Neitz has played on him before and done very well. So, and we've got quite a few options. We're just hoping that we can stem the flow to him, and he won't have a real big effect.
Well, Nettlebeck is the man at centre half back on Lowe, who's playing at half forward. Everett gets the hand pass out. Clarkson, high ball to centre half forward. Punch from behind by Hudson. Comes to Phoebe. Round the corner he goes out wide. Chance for the D's. Obst in front. Excellent catch.
He's got a bit of ticker, Andrew Obst. He's not scared to put his body on the line. Very good player over the years.
Ingerson, forward pocket.
I mean, this guy here too, Jamie, he's when he gets going, he's got some great hands, but he tends to draw the ball out very wide. I mean, we've said it many a time here before that key to get it in the centre corridor, and Ingerson tends not to do that as well as some of the other centre half forwards.
He does have very good fitness though, and he tends to run off his opponent and too far away from the centre half forward post, but that's probably working against him that he's that fit.
Tough from this pocket, even for a left footer. Just not a bad
effort. Nope.
And a minor score. Demons first.
Interesting to note down here, Drew, is Nicky Winmar's playing at full forward on young Liancelli.
St Kilda setting up a bit of a zone. They're going out wide, got a guy in the...
Peckett runs onto it and bursts the tackle. Already to half forward, Everett a mile in the clear. Jimmy Stein's caught behind. Winmar!
Clever mark.
How did Everett get so clear of Steinsy?
Well, obviously what's happening is they're both going for the rucks in the centre bounces, and then Peter Everett is dropping back into the forward line, causing Steins to come back into the back line, and he's not really used to that, Jimmy, so he's a bit loose at the moment.
A little bit of transferable play by Peckett too, because Jimmy watched the ball down the middle.
Nicky will be disappointed in that kick, missing that. Normally he kicks those type of goals.
Yeah, Jimmy watched the ball from down the middle of the ground and basically stood there and waited for it to come straight at goals, whereas the big Spider, he faded out to the outer side of the wing and got himself a 10-metre break while Jimmy was watching the ball and not watching his opponent.
Called daydreaming.
Yes.
Here's Gaspar, whose man is Hall today. Gaspar towards the outer side. Everett from behind, a good punch. Hopgood.
Hopgood, the man who has got a share in an ostrich farm down at Muradoc, and he works for, it's not the CSIRO, but one of those bodies that studies the ozone layer day in, day out, young Hopgood.
Good bit of info there.
Doesn't have much to help us with today, though.
Todd Viney, short of centre wing. Glenn Lovett Ball by Burke. And that'll be a crucial one in midfield, Lovett and Burke.
Speaking of emu eggs, there's one from the eyebrows up.
Hasn't hatched yet.
Marcus Seacamp getting ready to come back on.
What would the reflection on a sunny day do to the ozone layer there? Hopwood pulled off the ball, but regains possession.
Good ball. It's going to be a day of conditions like that. It's going to be pretty scrappy as we see them. St Kilda turn back in forward.
Max
So
Hutchton.
He's got a... I don't mind this kid, Shane Woden, for a first year, a young boy. He actually plays a little bit wiser than a first yearer would. I reckon he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yes, looks good. Played all 6 games. Punch forward. Clarkson, front of the pack. Sweeps the hand pass out wide. McDonald. Mucked it up the last time he got it. This time the first game he gets it across Nicholson. And you're holding the ball. Their arms are all over the shoulder, but still holding it.
Yeah, Clarkson there tried to disguise that it was pinned to him then and he couldn't get rid of it, but no, Lumpy was awake up to that.
Jamie Shanahan up from the back pocket. Low. Didn't attempt the mark. Glenn Lovett. Here's the first gamer. Well done. Nicholson. Alistair Nicholson making his debut, a 19-year-old from Claremont.
With those sideys, he looks like, well, something out of the 70s, and not a good kick there. He actually swung that ball left to right. Then he must kick it with his instep, Ned. Not that you'd know anything about the art of kicking.
Here's Young. Woden. Spoiled by Trianides, who kicked the first goal of the game. Nettlebeck picked the right option there. Viney goes for a sprint, but he's going across the ground.
Yeah, not a good kick there. Put himself under pressure and couldn't spot the kick up, but you'd think the conditions would suit Todd Viney today. Good catch there. Well done, Joel Smith. He does have a lot of talent, this boy, and he covers the ground pretty well. He's just got to take the next step, though. It's pretty static down there, Harves.
Yeah, he's got to move it quick while they've St Kilda four lines fairly open at the moment.
Yep.
One glove to it, Everett. No mark. There's Hall. Flick the ball up. Phoebe. Crunched down by Everett and the ball out of play.
That flick up there, Chris Mitchell actually put the whistle to the mouth then and thought, no, I'll let it go. Wet weather, you won't mind them knocking the ball on, and maybe a knock with an open palm can be forgiven.
St Kilda have got a big side, as I mentioned earlier today, on conditions like this, but the big blokes appear to be handling all right at the moment.
Yeah, they're going okay.
Steins gets the ball down to Seacamp. St Kilda 2-1.
Good double
juggler's
teaming.
mark.
Peckett did very well then, Dean. He got in between him and just gave him a bit of space.
All he has to do is make out he's having a legitimate attempt at the mark, which he wasn't, but he disguised it well. Stewie Lowe fades across the front of the pack there, and Stewie will do all right in these conditions as long as the ball doesn't swing around. And what he did there, just the flat mitt to take the pace off the ball, and then the ball just drops. A perfect wet weather mark, even though he only went one-handed first, just to take the pace off the ball there. Well done, Stewie.
And that was Brad Campbell marking and passing to Lowe. Campbell in his first game. Saints have made an interchange. Ozzie Jones started the game on the bench, but he's on the ground now after 13 minutes. Stewie Lowe for his second goal. Looks good. Goal.
He worked that very well, Harves, just floating in. Everett was the target, and all the heat was taken off Stewie. He's just been allowed to run around.
Yes, he has, and worrying times for Melbourne. They might have to make a change here on Lowe, having kicked 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of the game.
Well, Neil Balme said he thought Nettlebeck would be the man to go with him in the little grab we had before. Pretty good scenario, that. Putting all these prospective situations to the coaches and the what-ifs. As we see, one Melbourne too many in there.
Free kick, Everett. Off hands it comes. Brown. Or Smith it was. Brown, Smith, Jones, they're all there. Here's Peckett way up the ground. Usually find him in the back half. Support from Nicky Winmar and the short pass in. Cripps. Offline.
Or as Craig Kelly called him 5 minutes ago, Crisp.
Chris Chips.
Yeah.
Chris Chips. I'll just call him Chips from now on.
Thinking of those blubber guts again, weren't you, Ned?
He was actually starting loose for most of that quarter.
Yep.
Now as he's pushed up the ground, picking up his Melbourne player.
No use being loose in the back line if it's not getting there.
Exactly.
And Seacamp has been loose in the Melbourne back line down here.
Well, it's 23-1. All St Kilda so far. Gasper marks. That was pretty good clearance outside the 50. Into the breeze. Up to centre wing. Obst is playing on a first gamer. That's an excellent mark taken by Jimmy Steins. Now, we always knew Jim was a ruck rover, and his opponent there was Robert Harvey.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting matchup, that.
Kick smothered off Glenn Lovett. Whoops, down goes Obst. Steins. Hand pass too high for Clarkson. And Obst is still down after he reckons he got a whack to the jaw. Inside 50, the Saints. Winmar clean possession. Great hand pass to Lowe. Good hands by Stewie. Out wide he comes to Smith. 25 metres out. Winmar in the square. Goal.
It will be now.
Would have been a free kick anyhow.
No malice in that though, Harves. He went to ground before the tackler came in.
Yes, he did, but he was quick enough to get back up and kick it just after the tackle was laid. Stewie Lowe really shouldn't have handballed out to Joel Smith. He had Winmar coming through the centre that he should have given to, but they got the result they wanted anyhow.
You see Nicky there, just peels off the back. He just went out of screen there and kept going forward. And look, if you're a backman for Melbourne, you've just got to watch someone like that. As soon as the contest you think it is finished, first thing you do is look around to your opponent like Nicky Winmar and work out where he is.
Thrown up in the centre by umpire Chris Mitchell. Everett wins for the Saints. The Saints are dominating everywhere. Peckett's hand pass back. Brown. Trianides, and the ball beats him out of play.
Viney's gone to Harvey. Lovett was tagging Harvey. That's why he got loose then before Harvey went to Steins and they tried to switch play. But now Todd's gone on to him. That'll test Harves now because Todd's a great tagger.
Yes, and he's got a pretty solid approach to his opponent's body too. So we'll attack Harves on the body.
The hand pass was blocked. Pull! Oh, tackled high. Play on, says umpire Mitchell.
He had a prior chance to get rid of it, Drew, and even though it was high, he seemed to, well, he sort of bent the knees without ducking the body. He bent the knees here. See, he's just crouched over a little bit. Not much. I dare say had it been further up the ground, he might have got that free kick, but a bit of a 50-50.
Everett plays a bit of basketball. Edge of the square, low. Well, the Demons are in heaps of bother here.
They are, and I've been really impressed with Barry Hall's effort on the ground. He's really getting the crumbs out and knocking the ball on and doing all the hard little things, and Stewie Lowe is finishing it off in the air.
That would have been contribution.
Yeah, I was going to sound like Dougie Hawkins.
It's the cold weather doing that to me.
Your mouth seizing up. He has been on fire. Look, Nettlebeck has... you got me doing it, Harves. Nettlebeck's got to play him from behind. You call this one, Harves. He's got to play him from behind and push him under the ball.
Straight through the middle, Stewie.
He's got to work him under the ball because once you do that as a forward on wet conditions, the ball just slips over through your hands and, well, obviously you don't take the mark. If you play in front of him, he's going to double back on you. Sideways movement, he's going to be too hard to beat.
Gee, I disagree with you a little bit there, Dermy. Is the fact that, I mean, there he's obviously got a bit of jump on it. It wasn't near him, but the ball's going to start falling short a little bit. And Stewie, he doesn't take many big grabs like that coming over the top, getting up high. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm 50-50 there, mate.
I actually was quite different. I preferred the blokes to play in front of me, Ned. But, look, I reckon Stu gets most of his footy from the big grabs, the overhead ones. But we'll beg to differ.
Cripps, and Cripps has been prominent early. Kept in by Trianides. Brown. If Trianides was out when the hand pass was given, that was clever. And here's Nettlebeck. Cleanest possession he's had against Lowe. Hobbs. Viney. Wide to centre wing. Good shepherding there by Lovett, allowing Clarkson a free pass. Kick by Clarkson. Haven't been here often, the Demons. Peckett.
Yeah, there's a bit of experience there. Young Nicholson just... Nietzsche was coming back into space. You'll see by a great camera angle behind him. We might get a shot in a minute, but coming back into space, and Nicholson took his player into his space, and basically they collided and caused the turnover.
Now, obviously for the wet conditions, you'd assume the handballing would go astray, but St Kilda have got 87% efficiency with their hands at the moment, so they're finding the mark.
Clarkson for the D's. Just gets boot to ball.
Good effort there by Clarkson, as you saw, but he so easily... He could have just dropped the ball on the deck, but to contort himself to get a foot to it because the hand was held. Good effort there not to give away the free kick.
Well, his senior career looked over at North Melbourne, but he's really revived himself at Melbourne. Neats in ruck. Cripps again. Steins, once again, Harvey the nearest there, laying the tackle. Out of bounds on the full, so well done, Robert Harvey. Free kick to Peckett.
He's been good already, Peckett. Run around pretty well.
Just over centre wing for the D's. There's Robert Harvey. Lost it in the tackle.
Hopgood. Pretty scrambly footy out there, but that's pretty well the way you would expect it to go at this stage. First 10 minutes while the balls are dry, new balls each quarter, obviously, most of the scoring will take place, and then once they get a bit waterlogged after 15-20 minutes, it'll turn into a game like this.
Clarkson. Almost run down by Brown. Neats. Oh.
Well, if he'd taken that, he hasn't had a touch yet, Neatsy, but hasn't come down here that much. It would have been good to get the guys going by taking a little mark like that, getting it in and kicking a goal.
Yeah, they wouldn't ideally love one on the board at the moment, because I get the belief that the ball's carrying a little bit longer when going to right of screen.
He's been sensational this year. 19 goals, third on the league ladder, and easily Melbourne's highest goal scorer. Back to Clarkson. Big punch out of there. Cripps again.
Great punch by Shanahan.
Long kick to centre wing.
See, that's what I mean there, Ned, by just working Stu under the ball from behind.
Yeah.
And the ball, it's very difficult to mark like that in wet conditions.
All right, we'll watch every contest today and I'll have a little, we'll have a discussion.
Nez, that's why you used to get 5 kicked on you every week.
At least I picked up a man.
Now, boys.
Oh, Harvey, beautiful hands to Burke. Long kick by Burke with the breeze. Dropped by Seacamp.
Good second effort by Seacamp there. So you control that situation by playing him from behind. But yeah, well worked by Seacamp. He's worked it out there. It's with Lovett now, who goes on to Obbs, who's floated down to the back line.
Short of half forward. Sirakowski, welcome back after suspension.
There you go, Ned. 3 in a row. Sirakowski controlled the decision from behind.
Harvey.
4 in a row.
Brett Lovett.
Do you want any more proof, Ned?
Okay, get quiet now.
Leoncelli goes out wide. Big leap by Sirakowski.
Melbourne are a very disappointing side. They just go indirect all the time.
Yeah, it is that way, isn't it? And look, as good as Jimmy Steins is, he actually drags the ball out wide, doesn't he? He's such a good athlete. He runs and he will outrun his opponent and go out wide, and invariably he drags the ball out there with him.
Neats in ruck. Hopgood, hand pass intercepted. That was terrific by Campbell, first gamer. They're holding the ball. Joel Smith says yes, hailing a cab.
Drew, it's interesting, you know how we were talking about Steinsy and Harvey. They are actually, once Jimmy runs down forward and goes away from the ruck, Harvey goes with him.
Just inside, Melbourne's attacking 50 is Steinsy and Harvey at the moment.
Hopgood's kick no distance. Neats, did that go 10 metres?
130 in the air, Drew.
Mark paid. Glenn Lovett on his own. A chance here for the Demons. They haven't managed a goal yet. Kick by Lovett to the pocket rather than the goal square.
That was disappointing then. Jimmy Steins, all his height, he got away from Harvey and was the perfect option coming back into the middle of the ground. And it's fascinating that he is actually Harvey's tagging Steins when he goes away from the ruck contest.
Well, we always knew that Jimmy was a ruck rover.
Well, he does play like a ruck rover. He doesn't win too many at the centre bounce. Very good at the boundary line throw-ins, but he is a ruck rover.
Gets it to the back. Chance here. Cowell. Byman. Pretty close to goal, but wide out. Oh, off hands and through for a minor score. It's only Melbourne's second score. They're 2 points. St Kilda 5-5.
Robbie Pyman did that very well. Just faked the dummy, went one way then the other. And they should go out wide. It probably won't carry the distance to the St Kilda player.
Hobbs. Steins. Short pass to Glenn Lovett. Burke put on the spoil. Play on, says the umpire. It comes to Campbell. Then the export Melbourne player finds touch.
Lovett not happy, thought he deserved a free kick there.
I think he's got a case.
And just interesting to note, St Kilda's forward line got a very tall forward line. They've got Stewie Lowe, Peter Everett and Barry Hall playing down here.
And Nicky Winmar got the floating role amongst them all.
And Rob Harvey actually came over the top of Stones.
Must be a situation where basically the tallest player in the vicinity must be commissioned. He has to go against Steinsy in the boundary line throw-in, and Harvey can come over the back.
Steins's got to make sure his taps work too, because he's got a great height advantage.
Well, he's headed that one.
Well, that time he was virtually contesting with Joel Smith, who's half his size. Clarkson to the 50. Pyman, well done.
Now he's got to, if there's ever a chance for holding the ball up, unless there's a good lead on, he's got to wait for Neitz to get back, but that's a good lead by
It was a great lead. Termy, you called it was a great lead, and
now that was very clever, Ned, because I don't know if you could see it right there, but Neitz, when he ran back, hugged the boundary to keep that corridor between the kicker and the goal square open. If you see this, you might catch the side left. No, you don't catch it, but the left-hand side of the screen there, Neitz ran along the boundary just to keep it open.
It's like I was saying before, when young Alistair Nicholson took the space up, Neitz created it by staying out wide.
Ingerson from 35.
Pulled it across
the face. And they're still goalless, the Demons.
Yeah, but he's one fault in his game, Ingerson. It is his goal kick. He does miss a lot of kicks for goal.
He seems to get a fair bit of movement from the time he holds the ball in his hands to the time it actually hits his foot. The ball doesn't strike in the same position, does it?
Stewie Lowe ran right down, then try and get the kick out.
Shanahan fires off the hand pass, and they dash out of defence to Jones. And centre of the ground, mark taken by Nettlebeck. He goes wide. Good leap.
He's
from Mark Neitz. He is a player.
Good form, isn't he?
Kick by Neitz, well inside the 50. Shanahan spoils. Burt the crumbs. Peckett. Cross in front of goals now. This could be dangerous. Chance for Phoebe. Taken out by Cripps. Play on, says the umpire. Soccer off the ground by Young. Here's Harvey. And Steins caught lamenting behind. Close the gap a bit. Kick by Harvey to the 50. Hall in front. Spoiled by Gasper. Brown good to Winmar. On his own is Stewie Lowe. The kick in that direction.
Here, once again, Nettlebeck watched the ball go away from him. Stewie Lowe made the first movement to run to goals halves, and when Stewie was behind him, he controlled the situation.
It was just great vision by Winmar, because he was going to go onto his left side, then he switched back to his right side, and he's seen Stewie Lowe darting back and creating real problems here to Nettlebeck, and they will have to make a change now.
Stewie worked very hard. Like I said, he came in other side of the ground from our commentary to get the kick in, then worked all the way back down into this pocket. So he's obviously very fit at the moment and working hard.
And ducking back like Matthew Richardson plays.
Well, this could be 4 in the first quarter for the co-skipper.
Pretty close.
Who would you put on in halves?
Melbourne are in all sorts of trouble here now. 6 goals, 5-41, and haven't got a goal at this stage, and don't look like it, and having plenty of problems back here in their back line.
Mark, who would you play on Stewie now that obviously there's a bit of pressure here?
Well, you might have to think about moving maybe Gasper, away from Hall on to Stewie Lowe and trying Nettlebeck at full back, I would think.
Eleven scoring shots to 3. 29 minutes gone, first quarter. Lowe's got 4 for the Saints. Oh, Winmar! Juggled it on the end of his finger. Hall. You get in the way of Barry Hall, you know all about it. Winmar centres. Low dives and marks. No mark. Play on. It must have bounced just in front of him.
And I tell you what, Winmar is covering more ground than a greyhound doing a 500-metre.
Get a look at this again. I don't know whether he got an arm completely underneath it, but gee, he's creating some problems up there, halves.
Oh, he certainly is, and so is Winmar, and I don't think it was a mark, Dermy. I think it did hit the ground. It was a correct decision by the umpire.
Well, 6-5 to 3 behind.
Unbelievable situations here. 15th versus 16th on the ladder. A 38-point lead to the St Kilda Football Club. We're going to take a break and be back here very shortly. Every inch going forward their way is what they need.
Kick by Everett to centre half forward. Hall.
A lovely kick.
Fires off the hand pass. And a kick by Smith. Juggled by Peckett. Lowe's kick 4 in the first quarter. Number 5.
Yeah, it's got to be time to say, Nets, we need you to stand up for us. Would be wonderful to see Craig Kelly with his stack hat on a in the driveway there.
Joel Smith. Jones. And St Kilda work it up through Zilla over the centre wing. Lowe takes the mark. Thought about going on with it. Took a couple of steps to pull up. 2 kicks from goal. Everett.
Well, just a lucky kick there, Drew.
In the last couple of weeks, kicking 2 or 3 goals.
He's kicked 1 goal, 1 today.
Oh, that looks a sweet hit.
He's a very good shot for goal, Everett. He doesn't miss too many. Now Everett on the wrong side. Might look for the short kick. No, the old banana kick.
Oh, he's kicked it to me.
Opposite pocket. Thompson gets it going towards the goal square. Peckett's there. Off Everett's shins. Melbourne in all sorts of trouble here. Everett again. Well done, a goal.
Just fantastic play by the big fella to firstly have a shot for goal and then get over and make the contest and pick the ball up the ground.
A wrestle, we saw Young, Sirikowski and Meeks. That's Matthew Young. They've all been reported.
Oh.
So we'll...
Should know better, the boys. Oh, terrible kick by Cow.
Joel Smith right in front, 50 metres out.
Cross goal, sometimes this can happen to you.
Oh, he gets the distance. What a kick!
Yeah, no problem there. Got good finishing skills, Joel Smith.
Gather. Play on, says the umpire.
Yeah, just because you lead your opponent to the ball doesn't mean he isn't there once you get it.
Harvey to Hall. Thompson. Nathan Burke. A goal! In the last quarter, and we haven't had a goal, which is not good for Melbourne. Well, breeze a bit fluky. I don't know whether they've got much use of a breeze here in the last quarter, but they need to finish the game strongly.
Now another left footer, Healy, so he should, by all accounts, kick this one. He's going to pass it to Burke. It's going to be very tight for Burke.
Well, it was a pinpoint pass, but yeah, you don't like the angle from where the co-skipper is kicking from.
A 10-minute mark in the last quarter. Aussie Jones gets another run, and the boy we talked about, Thompson, comes off.
That's just not acceptable, having Burke running around there by himself on the forward line, is it, Ned?
Well, not really, but Healy should have actually kicked that, I think. Harsh, no, he's going to pass it. I mean, that's disappointing.
And Brown steers it and kicks the goal.
Well, they just keep going further ahead, St Kilda.
Usually a back pocket, mind you. Once as a back pocket, I saw Cousins kick 5 on him in a quarter.
Kicked it.
Aussie Jones!
Well, we saw the difference there. Aussie Jones can finish.
President Joseph Gutnick is seriously considering calling a crisis meeting this week as the pressure mounts on coach Neil Balme. St Kilda handing the D's an 86-point drubbing. The other winners today, Sydney and Port Power. But first, the Saints' comprehensive thrashing of the Demons at Waverley Park. The D's had only 2 goal kickers for the day, while Stewie Lowe booted 5 for the winners, Peter Everett 4.
At a wet Waverley, Stan Alves gambled on a tall forward line and reaped rich rewards. Winmar was given a run in attack, and although he covered plenty of territory,
Winmar in the square, goal.
it was the Everett-Lowe combination that helped St Kilda to a 38-point first-term lead, Big Stewie booting 4. Lowe picked up number 5 soon after.
Lowe's kicked 4 in the first quarter. Number 5!
As the Saints runners hit every contest first. Finally, 18 minutes into the second term, a David Neitz mark produced Melbourne's first goal. Hyman's leg speed immediately produced another.
Not enough. Hyman! He's got it!
But a dominant midfield meant St Kilda went to the main break 43 points clear. The difference between the two sides grew as Everett continued to dominate and the Saint defence ran like forwards. Neil Balme wasn't the only one feeling the pressure, the Demons playing like a side destined to collect the wooden spoon.
Oh, terrible kick by Cow.
Like the first, the last quarter was goalless for the D's, an 86-point triumph renewing St Kilda's belief in itself and promoting panic in the opposition camp.
Kicked it.
Aussie Jones!
The coach, unaware President Joseph Gutnick had promised heads would roll.
Oh, well, is that right, is it? Well, he's obviously very passionate about his footy, but I wouldn't think the best way to get a result is to talk to the press. I think he should be talking to all of us, and I'm sure we'll approach it in a methodical, analytical way, and I don't think emotion really has much to do with it.
Mark Doran, 7 Nightly News.